President Joe Biden is scheduled to meet with Italian Premier Giorgia Meloni at the White House on Friday for discussions. The meeting takes place amidst the Democratic administration's struggle to convince House Republicans to pass legislation that would provide aid to Ukraine, and as both leaders face domestic political challenges. But before we continue, please use some time to like this video and hit the subscribe button. Despite facing obstacles in Congress, Biden has been assuring European leaders of the United States support for Ukraine. The proposed legislation includes $60 billion for Ukraine, as well as $35 billion for Israel and Taiwan. Although the bill has been approved by the Senate, Republican Speaker Mike Johnson has refused to bring it up for a vote in the House. Ahead of Meloni's visit, White House officials have admitted that they do not have a clear solution to the impasse with House Republicans, which has resulted in a halt in aid to Ukraine. This aid is crucial as Ukraine attempts to defend itself against Russia's invasion. The situation is not only impacting national security but also the security of allies and partners worldwide, according to White House spokesperson Olivia Dalton. Biden, along with prominent Democrats and Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, passionately urged Johnson to take up the foreign aid package during a meeting at the White House. However, Johnson's response emphasized the need to prioritize America's own needs. This will be the second meeting between Biden and Meloni in approximately 7 months. Both leaders are dealing with conflicts in the Middle East and Europe and are seeking to strengthen their public image. Biden, who is 81 years old, is preparing for a highly likely rematch in November against former President Donald Trump, the expected Republican nominee. However, Biden's bid for a second term is complicated by concerns about his age among the electorate, some Democrats' dissatisfaction with his handling of the Israel-Hamas conflict, and mixed sentiments about the state of the American economy. Opinion polls indicate that Meloni's right-wing Brothers of Italy party, which came to power in 2022, still enjoys the highest level of support in Italy. However, it has experienced a noticeable decline over the past year. Meloni's bloc faced a setback recently when the candidate she campaigned for was defeated in regional elections on the island of Sardinia. Meloni's popularity will face further tests with 4 more regional elections in 2024, and nationwide elections for Italy's representatives to the European Parliament are scheduled for June. According to Gianluca Pastori, an analyst at the ISPI think tank in Milan, the meeting between Meloni and Biden can demonstrate to public opinion that there is a strong relationship with important allies, despite the challenges faced by both leaders. Meloni's visit to Washington follows her trip to Kiev last week, where she hosted a meeting of group of 7 leaders with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on the 2nd anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Leaders from Belgium, Canada, and the EU Commission participated in the meeting in Kiev, with Biden and other leaders joining virtually. Italy assumed the presidency of the G7 for 1 year starting in January. During her recent visit to Kiev, Meloni reaffirmed Italy's support for Ukraine and signed a security cooperation agreement for military and technical assistance until the end of the year. Italy is also committed to assisting Ukraine in the reconstruction of historical monuments. Initially, there were concerns within the Biden administration when Meloni came to power as the leader of Italy's first far-right-led government since World War II. However, the two leaders have found common ground on the issue of Ukraine, and Biden praised Meloni and Italy for their efforts to support Kiev during her visit to Washington in July. The agenda for the meeting is also expected to cover the efforts of the United States, Egypt, and Qatar to broker an extended ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, as well as Italy's priorities for its G7 presidency. Earlier this week, Biden expressed optimism about reaching a ceasefire agreement by early next week. However, he acknowledged that a potential deal may have been set back after Israeli troops fired on a large crowd of Palestinians attempting to access food from an aid convoy in Gaza City, resulting in over 100 casualties according to witnesses. Meloni responded to the incident with dismay and concern, urging Israel to investigate the events and hold those responsible accountable. She called for intensified negotiations to achieve a ceasefire and the release of hostages. Following her visit to Washington, Meloni is scheduled to travel to Canada to meet with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Saturday. Thank you for watching. Before you go, please leave your thoughts in the comments section, subscribe, and stay tuned for more updates.